Very good evening, friends. As ever, I welcome you, all of you once again, and I hope, I wish, and I pray to Goddess Kali that all of you remain well, do well, have a purpose in life, have a meaningful life, and have a satisfying life, and be happy. I don't stand for anything less than that to my fellow persons. No compromise. Yesterday we were discussing leadership. So, like you see, one of the greatest example in front of us about the leadership is Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, at the time of the independence struggle, literally started living in the minds of all the Indians. But rest of the Indians were not so capable. So Mahatma Gandhi used to just tell once and everybody used to follow it. By and large, the whole India. If I remember well, at that time the population of India was around 32 crores. The leadership point that was taken by Krishna in respect of Arjuna was mind-to-mind communication. Arjuna was getting all the answers of his questions during mental communication. I came to this phase when I was living with my master. So, my master was sitting on, जो मेरे गुरुदेव थे, he was sitting on जमीन पे बैठे कुछ कर रहे थे और मैं आश्रम से बाहर निकल के, चूंकि 1.5 किलोमीटर की सड़क बिल्कुल सुनसान है, आसपास छोटे मोटे थोड़ा बहुत जंगल जैसा माहौल है, उसमें मैं शाम को टहल रहा था. And I remember a fiery discussion going along within my mind, questions by questions by questions by questions my master was putting in front of me. मेरे गुरु प्रश्नों की उन्होंने झड़ी लगा के रख दी, लेकिन ऐसा आश्चर्य था कि हर क्वेश्चन का मैं लगातार मेंटली देता जा रहा था. उसके बाद जब मैं उनके पास आया, उनका यहाँ थोड़ा सा सुधार लेना, मतलब वो सचमुच में जान रहे थे. So, the entire approach to the leadership in the management texts, whatever are published and later transmitted and translated to Indians, is the leadership by action. You see, you people say that the world is being run by only few persons, India is being run by only few persons. And that is right also, because most of the power in India is actually with some families or with some groups. And for that they have worked hard. It is not as if they are culprit for being powerful. They have worked very hard. They have worked very in a very calculative manner, and they have taken the risks. So similarly, the power of the world is entrusted in the hands of few people. One of them may be President of America. One of them may be Prime Minister of India. But the fact is, the country is actually not being run by them. There are much more superpowers on earth. In Himalayas, along the banks of Ganges, you will find who has the capacity, who are endowed with the capacity out of their sadhana to communicate with Lord Shiva. And they get the directives from the ultimate master, the ultimate yogi, Lord Shiva. And those directives which they receive are automatically communicated through mind waves. So you must have seen a lot of governments, in spite of having all their powers in their hand, failing or losing elections. Nobody knows why they lose elections. Even the party is not sure whether whether that party will lose or party will register a victory. They're not sure about it. The reason is that they cannot read the universal mind. The problem arises from here. And what a yogi does is, he knows the universal mind. I, in my own life, have seen many such cases, and I myself have been part of them. When I went to Riva last time, so one of my maternal uncle is politician, so he used to have some gathering all along around him of the persons who are of the most useless class. And when I entered the office and I came across the 5 people or 6 people sitting over here, suddenly I got the face of my mind altered and I recited almost like a poem the problems with all those 5 persons and their habitual problems and the reason why they are getting stuck. I could tell them just by seeing, because I was communicating with their mind and I was getting the extracts. Like the Swati is facing problem, but unfortunately communication with me is not that clear between herself and myself, and so I am not being able to help her. But Swati is in some kind of problem. Some emotional. So, if you are satisfied, you should learn the corporate leadership, but if you are not satisfied even by that, then you should move ahead to learn the leadership by mind and the leadership by thought. But the mind gets shaped, and mind is essentially an impression of what you do and with what are the kind of persons with whom you live. And that is where the master stroke lies. The only master stroke in my entire life was to find my master. Rest, whatever I did was, and I am still doing, is stupidity. People say you are such a fantastic person. Fine. I mean, if they have a praise, why should not I be happy? There are other persons also who say so many things about me. So fine. I mean, I am really happy when I listen to all that. But the point is, we already are not being governed by those persons. Maybe they are Tatas, maybe they are Ambanis. It is normally assumed that we are being governed. But there are powers which are much more superior than these. And they are directly connected with Lord Shiva. And they have clear-cut indications in their lives. The indications are that they have met the Nirguna and Sagun Sakshatkar at least. There are other sadhanas and tantric rites and other things. But what is really required for you to become a leader is these 3 things. Love and passion for God, 1. The capacity of renunciation, 2. And the thought of the well-being of all, considering all of them anywhere in the world to be the child of God. These are the matters of realization, but I cannot ask you that have you realized or not that everybody is a son of God or a daughter of God. So even if you have not realized, let me tell you these things clearly. For being an universal leader and center spot of the universe, what you really need is love and passion for the God in Atma. The second thing is capacity to renunciation. You should not be overindulging in any case. You should live a simple life, as simple as possible. And you should have a simplistic mind which appeals even to the most poor in the country. Poor are also our brethren. Poor are also our brothers and sisters. And it is directly or indirectly, it is our responsibility to bring them to fore. It is also our responsibility to bring out the persons like Prashant who are talented. then that will be the real service and real puja of Lord Shiva. We have to help them with whatever God has entrusted with us. I have to help persons. I am here for no mean business. No mean business, no, as I often say, Darwin's monkey's business. I am here to help people to grow as much as possible. And I am not compromising with that in spite of problems. So, the leadership is about renunciation. The leadership is about love and passion for the word. The leadership is about stability. And the leadership is about intentions. And that is what Gandhi could rightly portray. One of the major reasons of the failure of India in the last 70 years, not progressing so much, was that we were having persons as our ministers, prime ministers, and still we are having persons as our ministers and prime ministers. I am not counting the present prime minister, and I am really impressed by his working. But for the rest of the all, I say, we bargain for so useless persons. They are really presiding over your parliamentary and whatever. They should not. If you think any miracle will happen, then let me tell you that that miracle will happen. I know that. A miracle will happen. But that miracle will not be something of any sort that you will get everything sitting in your house in a room. You have to come out of your houses, and you have to fight for your rights. One last thing which I want to add in today's discussion is the nationhood. None of Indians are really having a feeling of nationhood for Mother India. Reasons are many. We are politically divided, we are linguistically divided, we have got our own egos, we have got our own conflicts. But the personality is a lot about the nation. And ultimately only those persons are praised internationally who have done something, contributed something to their nation, albeit and in spite of all the problems. So if you are not having leadership, if you are not having love for your nation, then that will count. Because क्या होता है कि ग्राम देवता, स्थान देवता, कुल देवता इत्यादि की पूजा आप लोगों ने कई बार सुनी होगी, जो आपके घर में जो पंडित पूजा सुनाने आते हैं, तो ग्राम देवता, कुल देवता और स्थान देवता की तो हर जगह पूजा होती है. तो ग्राम देवता, स्थान देवता, कुल देवता सबसे बड़े तो भारत माँ है. आप लोग अपनी कंट्री के लिए क्यों फील नहीं करते हो? ये आपके अंदर की कमी बन जाती है, ये आपके अंदर बेईमानी पैदा करती है, और वो बेईमानी बाद में रिफ्लेक्ट होकर आपके पास आती है. और होता ही है कि ना आपके बच्चे बहुत ज्यादा आपकी बात मान रहे हो, तो होता ना ये है कि आपको कोई सीरियसली नहीं लेता, क्योंकि आपने उस नेशन को, उस मदरलैंड को, जहां आपने जन्म लिया, उसको भी तो सीरियसली नहीं लिया. At least you should have planted a tree, one single tree for sake of nation. At least in your entire life, once you should have given food to a poor person. See, the art of living is not a big idea. The art of living are these. Contribute within your capacity to a poor, contribute within your capacity to nation. Find and assume that if any lady or girl in any form, mother, sister, daughter, lover, is disrespected, then it should reflect upon your personality. So, as far as the personality is concerned, the problem is that you people really don't know about the personality. What does it mean? But it is quite obvious. How much have you fought for the cause of girls? How much you have fought for the cause of ladies, mothers, elders? And then when you find you are expecting praise from the nation that you won't get at all. And even if you get, that will be by crooked means. But never isolate the nation, never isolate the pride of ladies from your mind, and find that and know that. Don't find that. Know that you are responsible for that also. Otherwise, forget that you will ever get any kind of moksha, whatever Brahmin or whatever something you may be, but your entire approach to emancipation is defective and you will not gain approach. You will not gain any emancipation, any liberation, and you will always remain caught in the bind. And out of frustration of being caught in the bind, one day you all people will go down the drains. Absolutely no excuse is possible on this statement of mine. Moksha is not reading Ramayana. Moksha is not only reading Gita. Moksha is really immolating yourself for the cause of your motherland, for the pride of a lady, for the pride of a young girl, for the pride of and power of and capacity of expression to girls to whatever extent they want. And if you want to restrain them, better you exercise self-discipline yourself. No girl should be troubled, otherwise you people are in problems. Let me tell you. I can explain it further through Kundalini and other yogas. But for the time being, it's good enough. I would invite Mr. Prashant to take charge of the situation. And thank you, Prashant. Thanks a lot.